Dear friends of international pairing, dear friends of Metaldetector, dear friends of La Musica Non Si Ferma. We are live again just 1 week after the last broadcast, and tonight the guitar geek in me is screaming in joy because the guest that I will be interviewing for you guys is absolutely awesome. He's a guitar geek like me, way more than me, and we share the love for the father of all distortions. But I don't want to spoil too much, and I'm quite worried for my good partner Misfortune because tonight I think it will be very hard for me to shut up for a second. But as usual, I beg my good friend Evo behind the curtain, as he says, in the bottom room to bring on the screen my partner in crime, Misfortune.
Hi, everybody. How
May
are
the
you?
force be with you.
Actually, because I'm a huge nerd, I have my Darth Vader mug here for the occasion. I'm drinking tea because I'm a little feverish, so go easy on me tonight. I'm not at 100%. And you,
Well,
how are you?
I'm fine. As you see, I am grooming my beard. I'm trying to have the super beard for the
I'm a
end of the year.
huge beard supporter. So
Yeah,
we like
me
it.
too. Me too. And I will now say a very not popular thing, but I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I don't like the franchise too much. I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
it's just me.
I don't like the last movies. I'm a vintage fan, so I like the first three movies. The second three, not so much. I hate Jar Jar Binks like everybody else, and the last three, I cannot bring myself to like them. There's no way.
Well, I gave a chance to the latest movies. I even went to the theater to watch the first one of the new course, but no, it's not for me. I'm more of an interstellar guy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. I went to the theater to see that one, and I stepped out drenched in sweat. I was pretty much distraught after, and I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
It's a great movie.
I'm a space geek
Me too, man. Me too,
Battlestar
bro.
Galactica, video games,
Oh, oh, say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Battlestar
Battlestar
Galactica.
Galactica, man.
I just love it.
Man.
I watched it the first
Yes.
time during the lockdown and fell in love completely.
Isn't it the most underrated series in the world?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's simply amazing. And
Yeah,
I also
absolutely.
like to play sci-fi game like Mass Effect, so I'm pretty much into it, but not the latest Star Wars movies.
Oh, I see that among our audience tonight there is my good friend Aris Varosevsky from Stoner
Uh,
Rock Army. And yeah, tonight is very special because for all stoner rock guys, stoner metal, heavy psych stuff, tonight we will have a very important guest. He's a very guitar geek. He's a fan of the father of all the effects of all the distortion. And but I will just let him speak about
in
this, and I'm very proud to call on the screen Marc Gagnon from StoneFly Effects.
Hi guys.
Hi
Hey,
there.
man,
Hey, thanks for
it's
having me.
Welcome.
it's super cool to have you here. And as you said, I did not pronounce the name of the father of all distortions because this is going to be a huge topic for tonight. And it's a pleasure to have you here. For all the guys who never met Mark Eric before, is the mind behind Stonefly Effects, and he's gonna explain us. Yeah, Stone Rock Army T-shirt. He's gonna explain us about his journey from behind the guitar, from to the very front, the very feet of every gig. But stop the chit chat, and man, misfortune here makes all the good questions. So, first question for our guest of tonight:
Okay, let's start simple. You're from Canada, so we want to
Yes.
know, first of all, how the situation is in Canada right now.
About the pandemic, the vaccination process has started not that long ago. Like toward the mid of this week, I'll have access to the vaccine, and it's a slow process. All the venues are closed. It's pretty boring. In fact, I have no real social life except work since more than a year.
Yeah, we've all been there, I guess. We're starting to reopen a little now here in Italy, so maybe we'll be able to see a few gigs if you're lucky.
Yes,
Are you having something similar for the summer or not?
sorry, repeat.
Are you having something similar for the summer? Are you going to reopen something, or it's still a hard lockdown?
We're still in lockdown, and I've seen that All Them Witches have announced a gig, but I think it's just in 2022. I'm not so sure, or just toward the end of 2021. So we're crossing finger that the vaccination process will goes faster and that venues will reopen. I think they were speaking on the radio earlier today about people may be able to access to Montreal Canadiens hockey games. So I don't really know.
Okay, let's start talking about you. First of all, what made you decide I'll start my own brand of pedals?
Oh, the when I was younger, I had a hard time. I made a big depression back then, and it's something I'm kind of open to talk about. But when I went out of this, I was already into guitar. I had a kind of vision to start a pedal guitar brand, and I had some vision, some pedal names, and I decided to give it a go. And I made my first fuzz. I ordered the kit on the net, and the pedal like kind of worked, but it was like a fuzz from Outer Tomb. It was cavernous and very bad. So I kind of put the idea in the in a drawer, and but along the years, I went on some forum like the Differential Audio Manifestations forum, and my knowledge about guitar pedals grew and grew. And at one point, I decided to give the project a second life, and so I decided to make a good buzz around cloud, but I had my vision of it. So the way I thought to make it happen was I wanted to hire the professional artist, have a logo, and so I decided, the way to pay for it is just to make many and sell them, and I will repay the artist and the material, the piece. So that's what I did, and that pedal was a Grizzly Fuzz. It was a huge success, but not an immediate success, but it was a success still.
So basically, where did you learn? Are your studies related somehow, or just passion?
It's just passion. When I want to do something, I search on the net and I learn by myself. I'm always been an autodidact guy. I don't know if it's a word in English, but that's one in French.
And if you have to explain to someone like me, I'm not a musician, so I don't exactly know what you do. So if you have to explain to me what do you do, how do you put it in words?
Okay, what I like to do more precisely is I'm a fuzz guy, and so I like to take old circuits, give them like a modern side. But when I was younger, I was destining myself to become a movie director. So making a pedal, it's like a sorry, it's like coordinating things together. So it's like the work of a movie director, but there is many aspects. So you got to build the circuit, you got to hire the artist, find the style of the pedal, the way you're gonna build it. So it's a creative process.
I
Does that
actually
answer your
study,
your question?
yeah, I actually study as a movie director too, so we have that in common.
Yeah.
I was studying in Switzerland, and yeah, you have to take account of a lot of things to make a movie comes together. So I get what you're coming from. And what do you think your products are different from what was already on the market?
What's the difference of my project, you mean?
Yeah.
My guitar pedals are all made completely by hands. I try to do every step myself, and many people sometimes think we're a group of people. No, I'm alone. I'm the only guy behind every aspect of the pedal. So the big difference of my pedals is probably the fact that they are completely handmade. There's other pedal handmade, but they're made with prefabricated printed circuit. When I use some, I do them all by myself, the old DIY way. So I'm trying to offer a pedal that stands out. That's a functional piece of art in some way.
Mark, I know for sure that among our audience, there are a lot of guitarists. I'm a guitarist myself, so I'm really interested in the process of making and the creativity and in how you build the sound in your head. And so, if you should pick one pedal that you construct that you made, and speak like deeply about that and explain it better, explain it further, what would it be?
Oh, it's sure that my favorite pedal from all the ones I did, it's still the Grizzly Fuzz. The Grizzly Fuzz is essentially a buzz around, and the buzz around was kind of a three knobs version of the Mark III tone bender, Mark IV tone bender. So think tone bender on steroids, British invasion. So that's a pedal that has a big drive, and it's fuzzy and it cuts. So yeah.
It's awesome. And can you name like a couple of songs or bands that use your pedal to record a tune or something, so our audience can just go and listen to it?
I have many guys. It's sure that there's a few guys I'm really proud to have using my pedals. Among them, Patterington from Geezer.
Hmm.
He use it since few years. So he used it on his last album, on the one before. So I have Eddie from EP Dead Cult,
Hmm.
and a band I really like. So yeah, I
That's
can.
awesome.
And do you use your own pedals when you play?
Yes, I use them.
I would use them too.
I always keep one of each, and you know, the thing with my pedals is I want pedal that inspire people, and so the first customer in end line, it's always me. So I'm always building. I'm building for the others, but I am also building for me. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. So, if you could name two, three kinds of music that you think could benefit from using your pedals, what would these genres be? Like, I guess stoner rock at the very top. Is it right?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Hmm.
Every music that's using fuzz at its core, it's my pedal will do great on them. You get, of course, the doom metal, psychedelic rock, yeah, the fuzz rock, in any kind of rock that needs some dirt, some crunch. You got it.
You specialize in fuzz, right?
Yeah, right. In fact, yeah. Sorry, go.
I was curious, why did you choose to specialize in fuzz?
Oh, it's kind of an obsession. I remember back then that I wanted to know what was behind Jimi Hendrix sound, what was behind David Gilmour sound. So it's a bit that process that made me search about the pedal these guys were using, Jimmy Page as well, and I'm a big fan as well as Rage Against the Machine. So I was really into what Tom Morello was using as gear, and etc. So it's you want to know what the artists you love are using, and that's a bit what started the passion for the fuzz. And also, I remember at the era I got into that there was a Gearman Dude really popular, and at each week there was a new videos with new pedals. So I want to try this one. I need to try this one. I need to try this one. So you buy one, you resell it, you buy one, and along the years you gather a massive pedal collection.
I've been into that tunnel. If you ask me, I know how it feels.
And how did you manage to make your product known in the industry?
Oh, I'm mostly sharing on the social medias. I have my Facebook page, but I'm more active on my Instagram page. So on my Instagram page, I share about the music I love and my pedal stuff. And on the Facebook stuff, I kind of focus only on the pedal stuff. But I think I post left often on there. So I'm always dealing directly with my customers. That's the way I prefer to work.
And for all the guitarists out there, if you want to share the name of the URL of your Instagram, you're free to do that.
Yeah.
The address of your
Instagram page.
account, what is it?
Oh, it's Arabas StoneFly_FX.
Okay, so all the guys playing guitar, watching this broadcast, go there and try yourself. Yeah, that one. Thank you, thank you. Now, Marc, let's go into a little further into this kind of conversation, because I'm really getting into it. And if you could suggest all the guitarists the right chain, okay, from the guitar output to the preamp, to the send, the return, and out in the cabinet, what would it be in your opinion?
Okay, I know that the way to go normally is supposed to be kind of like dirt and then modulation, and you're closing by the delays, the echo, the delays, and stuff like that. But it's just the theory. In my book, you gotta try and experiment and see what fits better for you. It's like the old story. Is that better? The fuzz before the wah, or the wah before the fuzz, and there's always impedance to take in consideration. But same goes for the compressor. People are telling compressor at the beginning. On my own, I prefer the compressor at the far end. That's acting like a kind of final studio to my sound. So it's really and about that fuzz watting. I think I prefer the wah than the fuzz. It's more aggressive, but here again, it depends of the pedal you're using and the goal
Right.
you want to achieve.
Right. I remember, I think about 10 years ago, I had the chance to meet Daniele Gottardo. Do you know him? It's a
The
it's
guy
an
from
audience.
Monterbo Effect.
No, he's a guitar virtuoso
Okay.
from Italy, and he has a quite unique technique. He's a eight finger tapping player. He was seeking a tone, a very clean and round tone, and he achieved it, if my memory serves me right, by putting a compressor at the very beginning of the chain and another compressor at the very end of the chain.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting, yeah. And if you have the chance to listen to one of his albums, he's a great player. He's internationally acknowledged. Um, he has quite a keyboardish tone, so very precise, very sharp, and it was quite interesting to see his rig and talk to him for a while.
I'll check him out.
Yeah, yeah,
I always love to discover new music, new musician.
it's cool. He's really cool, very down to earth guy. I love the music he makes. He's not properly a guitarist now. He's going through playing more instruments and create symphonic stuff. But he's a virtuoso, and I think you will love him.
Yeah.
And what do you think about these digital plugins we have nowadays? That you buy one, you have 1,000 of effects. Are they replacing pedals somehow?
It's a matter of choice. Sometimes their sound are perfectly good to someone, but it's a matter of preference and for me, my pedal board is kind of I want to build the perfect dream board or something like that. So it's also a question of identity for a guitarist. And there's a multiprocessor are sometimes fine, but sometimes they lack identity and they kind of sound a bit flat. But sometimes you got one or two, three songs among the whole range that are really wow, that sounds fucking great. So sometimes you just want to have these just for that particular song.
So you're a guitarist and you play in a band called Atomic Raiders.
Yeah.
Tell us something about the project.
Oh well, I've been since many years mostly a bassman guitarist. So that's my mate Eric from the Stoner Rock Army. He's my drummer, and at some point he convinced me to get out of my bassman and give it a try. So before 2 years ago, I pretty much never played with real people. So it's a huge step to take for me, but that's something I always wanted to do. So I'm glad to do it. But right now the pandemic has kind of stopped us. So we're eager to empower back the project. And meanwhile, I'm always trying to craft a new riff.
You have an album ready? You're working on it?
Oh, no, we don't even have complete one single song. So it's still in early steps, but I'm never a guy hurried to do things, so I'm fine with taking my time, even if it takes 3 more years. So
you're not in a hurry.
Oh no, I don't intend to die soon. So
Yeah, this is a good project, if you ask me. Cool. I know, Sally. I know that we have videos that Marc featured along with the brief that we received. Do you think we should launch one and watch it together?
And talk about
sure.
it.
Okay, so Evo is basically the video man. So I beg him to put one of his choice and just let us enjoy the show. And at the end, Mark, maybe you can comment it for our audience.
Yeah, sure.
Go, Evo. Go. You can go now.
I
Oh
love it.
man. Oh man. Mark, what did we just see?
That was a song from No Stone, and it's from an extract from the one of the album I'm gonna put out on the StoneFly Records.
That's cool.
Man.
I actually love the. Are they seen from movies meshed with the band playing? Right?
Yes, yes, right.
I did a very similar thing for a lyric video for a band because I'm a video maker, and we use a lot of vintage horror movies, and it gives this creepy vintage vibe. I really love it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was really like diving back into 70 acid rock to me.
Yeah,
I love
with
it. Remind
with a
it just remind me. It just recalls me of Uncle Acid. You know the band, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's sure that's the first reference that comes in mind. And I think the guys told me that they are a huge fan. So it's not surprising to see that into their DNA.
That's quite
Also, the
nice.
guy, also you can pick in that the South America vibe. In that, the guys are from Argentina, and yeah, there's something occult in the water there. What's that
Next
song?
question. Next question.
Okay. We were talking about your about StoneFly records. So when did you start? Why did you start?
Oh, I've been a record collector since a couple years now, and I made friends in all the business, and I always considered about starting my own label, but the thing stopping me was a huge Canadian shipping fees. And just up recently, there's a new place that started. It's called Pack It Up, and they offer warehousing as well as a shipping and packaging service at a really reasonable cost. So I think that as a customer, what's often blocks us to buy records, it's the huge shipping fees. So without being able to offer a good shipping fees, I wasn't considering before starting my own label, which is not more the case. Also the packet of guys are taking up bands. So if there's bands listening and they need the service, they should really check them. Pack it up.
And do you do anything different from other labels?
Sorry, repeat.
Do you do anything different from other labels out there?
Sorry, I have hard time picking your question.
Okay.
I think that what she really means is what your label offers, how makes it different from the other labels out there. What is
Exactly.
the peculiarity of your service?
Uh, I don't really know what differentiate yet my label from the others. The only thing I can say it's I do everything I do it with passion and love. So that's the main thing. And also I'm friends with many labels guys, and I see all that not like a competition, but like a cooperation between all us to put out great music out there on that great medium that is the vinyl.
Okay, cool.
And you're a collector. So
Yeah.
when did you start your collection?
Think I started around the same time I started StoneFly FX, so around uh, 2008. And back then I was still buying CDs because I grew up as a teenager with the CDs. And when I was really young, I recall there was still cassette very popular. But at some point, I've gotten tired of the CDs, of receiving the broken CDs or asking to bands, "Oh, will you put that out on CD?" But in the end, I prefer the vinyl. The artwork is bigger. It's a nice format. Also, it reminds me of my childhood. I recall when I was playing my father's record. He had things like Western, Sergio Leone movies, and my mother had for us some Disney things, and uh, so there's a bit something nostalgic about the vinyl. And but I was telling earlier about the inconvenience of the CD, but when you got onto vinyl, that's the same thing. You're asking bands, "Oh, will you put that on vinyl?" So that never ends.
And this year, the market quota of vinyl just how can I say that? It surpassed the sales of the CDs. Vinyls
Yeah,
basically overtook CDs.
yeah,
This just
exactly. Yeah, go.
go, Sally. Next question.
Okay. Um, most precious piece of your collection.
Oh, most precious part of my collection. I got that old records from San Francisco's Shivers. So that's an obscure psychedelic rock band. I really love them, and yeah, that's the first that came in mind.
And uh, you obviously know a lot of music, a lot of bands. Which albums would you suggest for us to listen to?
Which album I suggest to listen uh, uh, right now? All right. Why not go to listen the first band I'm gonna release on vinyl, which is Paralyze. If you haven't listened yet, it's fucking great. Stoner rock, heavy blues, 70s hard rock infused album with soulful vocals, and I dare you not to love that album.
That sounds good.
Mark, I know that you are part of the board of Doom Charts,
Yeah,
and from your T-shirt, I know that you are into Stoner Rock Army. So basically, you are into this environment, which is basically the same that I attend to, and it's quite nice. Do you think that I think that Stoner Rock and heavy psych fans are quite nicer than other niches? Do you think I'm right? I don't know how to explain that. They're more keen to have a nice attitude, buy merch, and be less haters uh, compared to other music genres. Is that? Do you have the same feeling about this?
that's true that I'm moderator on the Stoner Rock Army group, and I also moderate on few other groups. So that's sure that we don't want that drug vibe. That's not what Stoner Rock is about. Stoner Rock is about music, and also I think that the whole spirit of the Stoner Doom scene is about cooperation and love for each other and cooperation. So there's no place for dumb things and hate, and so that's maybe why that's the vibe you're picking. Also, we're filtering stuff, so the group is open, so people can share what they want as long as it's respectful for others, and that's interesting.
We usually ask everybody this question. We had a guest from France, from Sweden. How is the underground music scene where you live?
It's pretty great. There's great stoner doom band in Quebec City and Montreal. So we have a couple great local bands. I can name Sandvice from Quebec, which are a StoneFly effects user. There's a yeah, there's a lot of great bands around.
It's
So
well received. You have a place to where to play.
there's a few good venues to assist the show, but overall the scene isn't that big. So we're just a few handful of people into that particular genre. But it's sure that when bands like Eye on Fire, Sleep comes in town, it's full, it's jam packed normally. But for the smaller venues, it's more calm, and it's generally the same face we saw at each time.
You
So
know each
yeah,
other.
not necessarily always, but we know each other from you.
Here in Italy, or at least here where I live, the little venues that do live music, like underground music, are slowly dying. Pretty much every one of them. The pandemic didn't help, obviously, and we the original underground music is not as well received as I don't know, tribute band or cover bands. They have way more gigs than original music. I don't know if it's the same in Canada.
I think it's the same. I think yeah, it's sure that when it's things known, people go more to it. But on a personal level, I don't really care about that. And when there's a band coming in town that I love, I always do the maximum possible to go see it. So, I don't really care about what's going on the mainstream level, and to me, go see a tribute band. It's not something interesting. I mean, yeah, it's fine to see people achieving some, they nail the song and that's great. But to me, there's no real interest into that. I prefer a band that will take a song from a band and make a real tribute by making it his own.
I agree. And can you make a living being a musician there?
Oh no, it's all sideline. In real life, I'm a stationary engineer, so I'm a specialized technician in ammonia cooling, pressure vessels, steam generation, compressor, and I do also a lot of maintenance, mechanical maintenance, and I also operate a power plant in a brewery. So it's but my job allows me to have a lot of time to listen to music. So that's perfect. That's perfect for me. I always go in between. Yeah.
It's a perfect balance.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes I'm sat on a chair watching my screens, and other times I'm out there in the field working more heavily.
Well, Marc, we are running towards the end of this interview, and usually when we have bands here, I play little games with them because I love to interact with musicians, especially when they are in a group. So my favorite question of all time is who's the stinkiest among all the members of the band. But I cannot ask it to you. So I will try to have a little ping pong chat with you. Don't think too much about the answers. Just answer freely and let's have a good time. Okay. So
Okay.
5 songs from 2020 that you think everybody should listen to.
From last year, oh boy. Definitely. Oh, I'm so bad to recall the song's name. I'm more a full album
Bands.
guy. So
Albums. Albums.
Taya Carrera was fantastic. The Last Kind, The Last Funeral, Orbital Junction, Bugwife. That's five. You got your five bands. Five bands people should listen to.
Go. Okay. Name 5 bands for the albums. Man, man, I'm sorry. I just didn't get what you were saying. I had a problem with the internet stuff. It's okay.
No,
I get you.
no problem.
I know I shouldn't ask this, but name one band that really bores you out of your mind. You can say Guns N' Roses if you want.
Oh, Dimmu Borgir. I'm sure I won't shock no one here.
No man. Okay. Okay. What was the wildest concert you've attended to?
The wildest.
Wildest, yes.
Oh, I think it was when I was young. It was a punk rock concert, and I was on acid, so I guess that was the wildest one. I was hearing sounds tear in my back, and I had some all sort of auditive hallucinations.
Yeah, yes, but you are the second Canadian. Well, I don't speak to many Canadians actually, but two, you guys named punk rock scene. Is it true that there's a very interesting punk rock stuff going on in Canada?
When I was still a teenager, there was really. I recall, now I live near Montreal, but I'm coming more from the place called Lac Saint Jean. So it's
Mhm.
5 hours away in road from Montreal. And back in my city, Alma, we had a really great punk rock scene. So we had bands from California, from uh, uh, not necessarily Norway, but the Scandinavian countries coming to play in Alma. We even had Blink 182 before they went really popular back then in Alma, as a small 25K town. So I'm sure the scene was great too in Quebec City. I recall I was going to see some bands in autobus in Quebec back then. So yeah, the scene was great, but nowadays what it is on the punk scene, I couldn't tell.
Okay.
I still love that genre, but I don't really listen to it anymore.
What is the last song you cried to?
Last song I cried too. Whoa. I'm not much a crier on songs, so
Okay, I get you. I tried. And what was the time that you threw a pedal out of your board and said, "This is not going in ever again"?
uh, I will. I don't think I threw a pedal out for that purpose. I guess I'm always putting a pedal in because it's just better, or it's more what I want. So, but no, I don't recall being frustrated about a pedal exactly.
Because you never tried a Dan Electro. If you tried,
Oh,
believe
I
me.
I, I tried it. I,
You tried Dan Electro, really?
yeah, I have one. I think it was called the Black Paisley, and it was from the series Liquid Metal, and this one sounds pretty good. And I recall I love the octave on it, but that little switch is broken now, and I haven't played it since a long while. I
Well,
still have it. I still
that's
have it.
really funny. Uh, they have I don't know, they used to have a very cheap line called FAB. I remember I said, yeah, why not? Let's try one. I'm not putting that stuff again in my pedal board. It just tried all the pitch. I don't know if the pedal was broken or stuff, but nope. That was a big nope for me.
But I recall these were really cheap pedals. Yeah, maybe something like 40 bucks, or it was really affordable. But I'm not surprised they weren't sounding great.
Nope. And what is your the favorite guitar to play among your collection?
Oh, it's my Fender Stratocaster, a yellow one. It's one from the it's a Fender Special Reserve one that was sold by Pro Guitar Shop back
Mhm.
then, and I bought it from a mate in Vancouver, Canada, and I still love that guitar. It's my main one.
And what was your first guitar?
My first guitar, I think it was like some Stratocaster copy by Ibanez. But in fact, my real first instrument was a bass. I had
Hmm,
I don't even recall the brand. I think it was a Yamaha bass.
Yamaha. Well, many musicians started with that brand, if you ask me, even among my friends. Yeah, they're not too bad. And let me think. Uh, well, this is not really a ping pong question, but I think you heard of the Stoner Freaks anthology, right?
The Stoner.
Stoner Freaks anthology.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Yeah. Do you own one? Do you own one?
I I, I own one, but it's still my mate Eric that has my copy, and since there's a pandemic, I haven't picked it up yet, so I haven't had the chance to check it for real.
It's a beautiful project. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's really cool. The guys include me for an interview on the second edition that's coming up.
Oh, really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard of the second edition. I wasn't too much in contact with the guys. We always tag each other and stuff like that. But I heard that a second edition is coming up.
Yeah, yeah. That's
And one last question. Let me think. It's not easy to interview a single person because I cannot make people interact among them. And let me see. Let me see. If well, this is a good one. If you could give a suggestion to a young stoner band, like a band at the debut album or maybe the second album, stuff like that, that is watching is going toward a path to a more musical maturity, what would you suggest?
uh, what would I suggest to a band to gain more maturity?
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. There's a band that is going to produce their first album, their debut album, or maybe the second, or I don't know. It's just not an acknowledged band. It's just a project that is going well but needs to grow. Okay, what would you suggest to a project like this?
It's sure that I will definitely suggest to put it out on Bandcamp, but it always depends on the goal of the band. Do they want to be signed under a label? If they want to be signed under a label, they need to they should not put it out yet. They should before contact the labels to establish a good uh, a good strategy to release it. But on the other end, they need to get out a bit to create a fan base. So I think the first thing is it's really straight up on Bandcamp and do everything with patience. And I think the rest will follow.
Okay. When this is the last question for me. When all of this pandemic stuff will be over, what will happen in your opinion? I mean, will the people be very hungry of music? So will they seek concert? Will they have the will to stay together and be together in a crowd? Or they will be just, they got the habit to stay home and enjoy just digital stuff, in your opinion?
In my opinion, people are craving for a return to normal. So people will be back out there to see bands even more than before because people missed it so much, missed the interaction with other people. So I think it's gonna be great. And yeah, the answer is gonna be also.
Well, my friend, I hope you're right. I really do so. And I don't know, Sally, do you want to add anything?
I have two last questions.
Yeah.
One a silly one and a serious one. The silly one is there is any artist or any band, Canadian artist or Canadian band, that made you go, whoa, I'm almost ashamed to be Canadian?
Uh,
Because we have
no,
a lot of them, really a lot of them.
no, there's no one I'm thinking in particular. Uh, Probably I don't love it. I just don't listen to it, and I don't bother much about it. I'm not a big fan of Céline Dion. It's a big renowned Canadian artist. I just hate her voice. It's coming from the nose, and it's awful. But there's people loving it, so that's fine. But
Yeah.
uh, No,
Yeah,
no thanks for me.
Nickelback are Canadian, and
Oh
they
yes,
get
yeah, that's true.
and they get
My,
a lot of hate.
You
I
do
don't know
not
why.
bring
my,
Nickelback up in a music interview. You just don't do that. It's like playing Starway to Heaven in a music shop. You don't do that.
my brothers love Nickelback. I don't.
Me
I
neither.
don't dislike them that much. And the serious question is, I come from cinema. I've studied it. I studied to be a movie director. So I see the music in that optic too. And which was the most beautiful soundtrack of a movie you remember?
Oh, Lost Highway by David Lynch is a great one. But there's many great one, and there's many different style ones. It's made of four, so the Star Wars soundtrack is just pretty awesome. You just put that in your car while driving in a snowstorm, and I guarantee you it's gonna be a great adventure.
That sounds nice. Okay.
Guys, I think we are just at the end of this beautiful interview. Mark, it was a great pleasure to have you here. I hope you will have the pleasure to come back. Maybe next time we can go deeper into the pedal stuff and maybe you can play for us.
Oh, I
Okay.
love it.
Man,
Yeah.
that would be so nice to have samples like they do on the YouTube. So like, yeah, this stuff sounds like this. This sounds like I would love that. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I take the chance to say thank you to all the audience. I've seen pretty known faces among them. Hello, Brian. I don't know if you know Brian Montgomery from the Horde.
Hi everyone, and thank you for having me.
Okay. And well, now Evo is going to put you behind the curtain. Just don't go away. We will just do the final salutation and we'll be back at you. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you for being with us, Mark, and to the next time.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye.
Thanks.